All right, and welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. With cold weather, you need to take caution and care with your concrete and masonry projects. Exterior masonry projects require cold weather additives. A.G. Hines Company, they have the additives. They have the products you need for your do-it-yourself outdoor project. As a matter of fact, they've also got the expertise to tell you exactly what you need and how to use it. A.G. Hines Company. They've only been doing this for, 100 years, so they know what they're doing. A.G. Hines Company. All right, this is the players only meeting. We're joined by VFL Sterling Hinton, Daniel Hood, and Will Overstreet. Two topics here. I may throw in a third, though. First up, jump in whenever you like on these. The Vols will be playing their 6th straight game this week. Kentucky's coming off an open date. How big of an advantage is that for Kentucky?
For Kentucky, I think it's have an opening date. You know, I don't know that team. I know I like playing games straight in a row. As a quarterback, you get in a rhythm, and if you're healthy, I tell you, nothing like being in game shape and staying in game shape and keeping that continuity going. I like keep on playing.
All right, now
defensive line, we like to break.
I was going to say, let's be honest. If Tennessee had the open date and Kentucky was coming off 6 straight, you'd be saying,
Tennessee's getting rested. We're a little injured right now, and I'll tell you right now, it's good for Tennessee.
No, seriously, give me an honest answer. Is the open date an advantage for Kentucky, in your opinion, or no?
I don't think it is.
Okay. I think it is, especially if you got some guys banged up or hurt that are not 100%, which at this point in the season, I don't have to know their team. I can probably guess that, yes, that's the case. So they get a little bit of extra rest. They come back a little bit healthier. Their legs are under them a little bit. So I would say, going that, you say it's an advantage.
They may get Sawyer Smith back, quarterback, because he played a little against Missouri. He's got another week of rest under him. But, Daniel, do you think it's a big deal or no?
I think it is. It'll help Kentucky be better, get their technique back to where they need it to be, where it was kind of close to the start of the season, and fix a lot of the little things that you've been working on throughout the year, but you hadn't had time to really fix.
All right, let me move on. Since 1985, think about this. As bad as Tennessee has been, haven't won a championship at UT in 20 years, okay? It's been a drought. Despite that, Kentucky is 2-32 against Tennessee since 85. Everybody else has caught up. Vanderbilt has gotten their licks in. South Carolina's gotten their licks in. Georgia State got a lick in. Kentucky, they got 2. They got you. They got your team when a couple of players decided they didn't care about a bowl game and didn't want to play. And that was the year that Tennessee lost to a Kentucky team that had Matt Rourke, the wide receiver, playing. But here's my question. You beat this team that won 10 games 24-7 last year. You've won 2 in a row overall. Everybody's telling you you're playing better. You got a Kentucky team that you own. Is there any chance of overconfidence for this Tennessee team?
This team shouldn't be overconfident.
Shouldn't be.
No, I don't think it would. I don't think they are though. I think this team is hungry.
Okay.
I mean, they're hungry. They're out here willing to prove a point, and they want to get to a bowl game. So I don't think if something happens Saturday night in favor of the Vols, it would be because of overconfidence.
Okay.
I have a hard time believing they'd be overconfident, especially knowing where they've come from this year, who they've lost to early on. And then saying, hey, the bowl game's still out there and it's a possibility for us. And I know last year, but I think maybe you take maybe you take something from that last year and you say, hey, we lost the opportunity last year by not taking this seriously and finishing the year. So I think that helps them carry over. So I don't think they take it over lightly.
I don't think they're overconfident because when you look at Tennessee and you look at Jeremy Pruitt, you say, what's the core value of the team that he wanted to create? And it's a hard-nosed, punch you in the mouth type of football team. Those type of teams don't care about scoreboards. They don't care about anything else around the game. They care about the competition. And when you look at Tennessee's team, you look at how they've competed these last 3-4 games, that's what they're doing. And so when you're talking about this game, we got a night game in Kentucky, somewhere else. Playing in Kentucky, the stadium's nothing nothing that you're worried about. You're just going to go out there and go have fun and compete and beat them pretty bad.
See, right there, you just showed your overconfidence. You lost up there, and yet you still say that stadium is nothing to worry about.
Absolutely not that.
Let me throw this in, though, because we were talking about it. It wasn't initially in there, but Sterling, you said this could be an issue. Yeah. Now that the cameras are on, you're going to say, no, it's not a problem. Weather. It can be cold, all right? And I'll throw one specific out there. Let's say Garantano has to go again. If you think that wrist was hurting the other night, what's it going to feel like when it's 20? Is the weather a concern? Did you guys have, and I'll start with you because you said yes.
I'm saying absolutely it's a concern. I mean, it's going to be chilly. And I would, it's one thing about playing football, and I'm quite sure these defensive linemen can attest to. If you want to see how tough someone really is, put them in an ice bath. I tell you that right now, boy. You want to talk about getting healed? Get that ice water.
And hopefully it's someone you know when you put it in
Hey,
you, I don't know if you're tough.
different thing. He put the remix on. I'm the DJ. How you gonna put the remix
All
on?
right, here's my question. Does weather concern you?
Yeah,
Cold weather.
weather can always concern you. I mean, especially up there, it seemed like every time we played up there, it was cold and you had a mist or something, and they had this the bluegrass stuff is a little bit different in how you run in it, and it's kind of a little bit there. So you have to contend with that, especially if Garantano's in there with the wrist, all those kinds of things. You have to take that into consideration.
Go ahead.
I think it's much ado about nothing. I mean, when I think about the game, the last game I ever played was in Kentucky, a night game, cold as can be. And I can tell you that there was no thought in my mind or any of the guys that we played with about the weather. Now, maybe it was a good thing by the coach and what he was doing and that type of stuff. But it was more of just, you're out there, you're with your brothers, you're having fun, you're competing. You know, it's once you start, like, you're cold for the first couple of minutes. And as Condress Holloway told me on the sideline, you never go near the heater. If you go near the heater, it'll make a word I can't say on TV out of you. But
Yeah, let's not go there.
yeah, but it's just like once you get over that, you end up becoming numb to it, and then it's just football. It's normal.
Unless you got an injury. I mean, I played with a torn ligament in my knee, and on a cold knee, that thing took a lot longer to warm up. It felt a lot stiffer every time you had to come back off on the field. It took you a couple plays to get back ready.
Seems like that's more of an individual thing. Because, I mean, you know, the NFL films are great about this. They'll shoot the team that's talking about, we're not worried about the cold. You'll see the team that wins, they all do that. And they'll show the other teams like, whoo, it's cold out here. But you know they've got other people on that team who are wearing no sleeves.
Yeah.
I think there are people who are bothered by it and people who aren't. It's hard to say a whole team will be, I don't think 85 guys are going to be freezing and chattering teeth or this is nothing. I would guess cold weather's worse on an offense than it is a defense, though.
Yeah, especially the quarterback. We used to have to get the ball from center. So
I just say it's bad if you got injuries.
Yeah.
That's where it starts
Yeah.
nagging up. Adding up.
Oh, well, and I think that if Garantano has to play, I think that wrist is one to watch. That's what it's called. All right, when we come back, we got our quick slants segment. All the guys are going to give their take. They're going to sound off on different topics. I have no control over it. It's open mic. But I'm still going to ask them not to say things they shouldn't say on TV. And then later, we're going to talk about the key for Tennessee to make a bowl game. It's easy. It's an easy number. I'll show it to you. Come on back.